Welcome back to WCB Jazz Vinyl. So today we're going to do an unboxing video, but it's going to be a little bit different than probably what you think. So in one of my videos from late last year, I want to say maybe November, I talked about how I go about sort of researching or just like reading about music. I wanted to cover it back then because history is just so often a big focus of my videos, right? That and the music. I like to combine these two things together. And what I highlighted is actually what a lot of what you see behind me. So it's like these compiled books of downbeat editions and editions of Jazz Journal and Coda magazine and other things. They'd been previously bound by a collector, and I ended up basically buying everything from that person's, not everything from that person's library, but at least the downbeat and the Jazz Journal, stuff like that. Basically, he had them compiled in books like this, right? So all of this is, you know, pages of downbeats from throughout the year. This volume happens to be 1975. I think it's a little faded. Yeah, 1975. So guess what? Just last week, I found a little bit of a sort of honey hole, but for jazz books. And just today, I got in two big boxes weighing a total of 110 pounds. So, all right, so let's see what's in the box, right? I don't actually know fully myself, to be honest. So go ahead and hit like, maybe subscribe if you get the urge, and yeah, let's just go ahead and cut into some of those boxes. All right, so as you can see, a ton of packing peanuts here, and I don't know, maybe I guess I'm not that nervous. I don't think that this stuff really would fall victim to sort of damage from handling. All right, so what we have, first of all, you can probably see here, is actual potentially loose downbeat editions. And this is a large box. I'm wondering how many is actually in here in terms of them being loose. So let's see what I can do here. All right, so at least they're seem to be maybe somewhat bagged. All right, so now here's the thing. It's possible that this is either a year or maybe mostly a year's worth. I'm not sure exactly how they packed this. What they suggested to me that that some of these were bound, and so it would be very surprising to me if they were all loose, like it seems like the majority of what's in here, because you can see here already, right, these are loose. It looks like there's some more loose ones down here. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see what we have. All right, so firstly, what I'm going to point out here is that not all of these are what I would say vintage editions. Okay, so this very first one, that's all I've taken out here, these downbeat editions are actually from just 2004. So I was definitely aware that some of them were from more recent years, but definitely some of them are also from, you know, what I would call sort of vintage era, like 50s through 70s, that kind of thing. But anyway, what you see here is you know, is Buddy Rich on the cover, which is funny because you probably find one from the 50s and expect to see Buddy Rich. But yeah, I mean, like Joe Lovano, and, you know, there's just like, obviously these are, you know, everything about these, you know, is just more modern in terms of the cover design and the logo and everything like that. So anyway, one thing I can tell though as well out of just this bag is that all of these are from 2004, and this is from a time period when Downbeat was putting out just one edition per month, right? So at some point in the past, they were doing, was it every week or is it every other week? It might have been 26 issues for the year. We'll be able to double check that here, and I think a little bit. But anyway, this particular year, 2004, was just one per month. And so what I can see here is that this is a slightly incomplete year, because what I'm missing is December, unless it's in another bag. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So so I've got 11 here, and yeah, we'll see if it's in another bag. But again, I also knew that not all of these are fully complete. Some of them are like mostly complete. So we'll just see if we'll see what the deal is with 2004 in any event. All right, so this next one that I'm pulling out does seem to be potentially more interesting than 2004. Not that 2004 is necessarily not interesting, but I prefer the vintage stuff. So in any event, what you can see right here is this collection. Obviously, there's a lot more here. Presumably, these are all from the same year, and you can see that you know, obviously this is vintage. So this is 1969, and you can see Ornette Coleman on the front. as well as Jimmy Smith, and maybe that's Stan Getz. But this next one is Miles, right? So yeah, these are all 1969, which is just, I think, a fascinating year to read about. So I don't quite know. So what I'll say is this: if these are organized correctly, and they may be, this first one is December 25th, which would have been the last edition from 1969. The one right behind it is December 11th. So that already makes me think that this was a time period when they were doing one edition every 2 weeks, as opposed to once a month. And so that's why there's so many here. So this one up top is December 25th, the first one is January 9th, which would have been the first one from the year. So what I have to do now is is go back through and find out exactly, do I have these, because I'm not going to count 26 of them here on the video with you. There's just, I can see now why this is 54 pounds, because these editions, I mean, it's just like straight paper. It's like filling this box just with paper. So yeah, what is, I don't want to take all of these out just right now. This is 1989. So again, that's a little bit more modern. And let's see, what's this one? Oh my God. Kind of trying to be careful because I don't want to bend these. Here, I'll try taking one out of this just so I can show you what some of the stuff is. So this one is, let's see, where is it? This is 2002, right? So this is a little bit more recent as well. Anyway, what it seems like to me already is that this box simply has more of the modern stuff. So, and there's actually another bag in here as well that I'll take out. But let's just go ahead and shift to the other box, and then I'll kind of give you maybe a little bit of my. I'll try to take tally of what I have here, and I'll tell you what's what. All right, so let's see what we got coming up here with this box, and like I said before, hoping, I guess, two things. One is I want some more vintage stuff, and so I'm expecting to get that. But then I also was hoping that some of these were actually going to be bound, because I swear they said that some of these were bound, but you know, whatever. I could have been mistaken, or I misinterpreted. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is another big one, and this does look more vintage, right? You can tell already. Let's see if I can just pull out a few here without making this too much of an effort. So this one is 1959. So this is, you know, it's good in that it is indeed vintage. And you can tell it's vintage because the spine is a little bit, you know, is a little bit torn, but that's to be expected with these old editions. You really do kind of have to be careful here. So yeah, anyway, this is indeed pretty cool. So 1959, and presumably the rest of this is all 1959. Man, it sure looks complete because of the number of copies here. So this is December 10th of 1959. That's a great cover. And this one actually seems to be in quite a bit better shape as well. Interesting. Yeah. So anyway, this is actually very encouraging. So here, check this out. So I've got these two, but let's see if I can take out the rest of these without, you know, without damaging anything here. Oof. And sorry about the rustling. I have no idea how that's getting picked up on the microphone. But all right, so there you can see that there's just a ton of editions here. And again, expectation is that they're all 1959. Certainly that one is. This is, yeah, I mean, this all seems like it's 1959. Great picture of Cannonball there. Yeah, so this is just super cool. Don't get me wrong, I'm disappointed that these aren't that these aren't bound, because it's unlikely that I'm going to pay somebody to bind these myself. Although maybe I will, who knows? But in any event, very excited to be able to dive into 1959. Yes. So, all right. So check this out. Not the nicest looking. It's possible maybe at some point they put like a cover, maybe like a Downbeat edition cover or something on the front. Not exactly sure, but This is kind of cool. So you can see on the spine there, it says Downbeat, and it says volume 37, 1970. So this is pretty cool because, again, they kind of did the hard work for me in terms of binding the whole thing. And so there you can see, right? You can see the the first cover of the year, and everything is fortunately legible. It seems like they did a good job with the spine on this. So yeah, like this is what I wanted everything to be, but I guess I didn't get so lucky. But theoretically, this is the entire year, all bound in one book, which is super easy to sort of reference, right? So let's see again how let's see how some of these others show up, because I'm definitely feeling some more loose stuff in here. Yes. All right, so the next ones that I found in here are actually from 1983. So that'll kind of be an interesting year, because for me, the early 80s is a little bit of a blind spot, but you can tell that these have very 80s covers, which are, they're kind of fantastic in their own way, even though that particular one looks like it's the sort of the press photo for a sitcom. But anyway, yeah, 1983. All right, so the next one that I pulled, 1987. This is also very 1987. Thought you'd enjoy this cover. So there's a bunch from this year. I promise we're ending on a positive note here. So in any event, these are these next ones that I pulled are from 1982. So you've got like Elvin Jones, Brecker Brothers. Brecker Brothers seem to make a bunch of covers from these like 80s and 90s era kinds of things. But anyway, that's that. But so check this out. There's a few more things in here that I'll show, but this one caught my eye that I wanted to pull out. So this is 1968 bound volume. So this is like super heavy or hefty as well. And yeah, presumably, has every edition. They wouldn't have bound it if it was incomplete, or so I think. So this has every edition from 1968. So that is, that's pretty cool. All right, so in retrospect, if you're wondering why I didn't know that some of these weren't going to be bound, it's because the actual like description said that they were volumes, but like apparently, I don't know if I misread where the spaces are in terms of the description, it basically said volumes for 1968, 69, and 70. And then it kind of references a number of other years that were either complete or like mostly complete, sort of collections of the editions. And I understand they wouldn't want to bind it if it wasn't complete, but like I still thought that there was going to be more. So in any event, not at all, not entirely disappointed, maybe a little bit disappointed. I actually do have some more stuff coming from this very same seller that I'm 100% certain is both loose editions, but is also more of that mid-50s era. So I'm definitely excited about, here's the thing. I don't think that I'm going to go and bind these, and I don't think that I'm now going to start seeking out to like complete, some of these years. I don't think that that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. We'll kind of have to see, because I think we all know that I'm a little bit of a completist, but I also don't want to just complete it just to say that it's complete. Like I like having these things because I get to read them, and I read them cover to cover every single night since I got some of these volumes like years ago, because I don't read more than like, maybe 4 or 5 pages a night or something. But every night I'm reading something. And so, the stuff is put to use. I do reference, go back and reference it on a fairly frequent basis whenever I'm interested in more detail about some of these albums. So in any event, we'll see what happens with this massive amount of downbeat editions that I now have in this room. And I have no idea where I'm going to put it. But that's the common struggle for us collectors, right? So anyway, without I guess that's it for today. Next video will be, rest assured, on music, whether a new release or something, some other vinyl related topic that I'm pulling out. So look forward to that. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.